Okay, we are streaming already. I'm going to start recording, and the floor is yours, Nilbert.
Thanks, thanks, George. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I know people are still jumping on. A lot of folks will also jump on right after their wrap up with Christine's Zoom. How's everyone doing today? All right. Anyone have anything exciting to share? Anything new? I know a lot of folks here are actually going to be I'll probably see them in Vegas this weekend, right? Who's going to the Pro Leadership Conference this weekend? I know Frida's going. Of course, George and Adrian's going. They're probably one of the speakers over there. Colombo and Karen, you guys are gonna be there, right? Okay. Awesome, awesome. Kenyon too. Nice, nice. All right. So anyone want to share anything before we start? I'm actually going to give it just a minute or two for the rest of the folks to jump on. Um, oh, Frida, you're muted. I was
I just want to say that I think you did an amazing, brilliant, fantastic job Monday night with the book.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, that was I was blessed to have like three amazing women as my panelists, all very successful, or all like you can tell they're all leaders, right? They're all leaders in their, coming from different backgrounds. So that was an amazing call. Right. So right after the that that it got done, Peter, the admin, he sent me a copy of the video for my records because he says, "Oh, that was a great Zoom over. Here's a copy of the video." I'm
It was
definitely gonna
absolutely,
keep that.
it
I'm
was
gonna keep
absolutely,
that for yeah for keeps.
it was absolutely amazing. So precise and to the point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for those of you, treelaunch.com, that is a landing page if you want to send your prospect there. The part of the opportunity is the Nilbert's video. Also,
Oh,
the pay plan is updated with the pay plan that I did last Saturday. It's a great page to send people that they want to have the whole information at once. It's treelaunch.com. I'm going to be doing a training after the convention where we are going to talk about how you can put it in your app, and then when people are looking at that presentation. But yeah,
yeah.
it was a great presentation. That's why it's there.
Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome, George. I need to check that out. All right. Okay, I see people are jumping in. So today's topic, I kind of thought it's going back to basics, really. The art of the follow-up. Everyone here already has experience in following up with, with our prospects, but I feel that we always need a kind of a refresher, and we do have a lot of folks who just started and who's just learning the ropes, and hopefully this will help them kind of like another skill set to put in their toolbox, right? As we try to grow our business. So the art of the follow-up. Let me share my screen. All right. So the art of effective follow-up. So a lot when I was putting this together and I was kind of basing it on how I kind of learned to do it over the past 2 years, as well as learning from my many different leaders and mentors. So there's you will pretty much develop your own style because we're all different people. We're all different personalities, right? But there's some very basic skills or basic concepts that we all need to follow. And I think it will really benefit all of us. Okay. So the objective here is to improve the follow-up process so we can strengthen relationships and maximize opportunities in building our business. Okay. Like I said, a lot of people here are already good at doing that, are already good at following up. So hopefully you can still pick up some nuggets from this short training. So let me ask you this. How often have you attended an event or did a presentation, you were able to exchange or collect contact info, but nothing really came out of it, right? Right? Nothing, nothing really panned out, or you weren't able to kind of really maximize the opportunity. Well, you know what? Don't worry, because statistically, 80% of networking opportunities are lost because there's no follow-up. So once you kind of master being consistent with following up with your leads and your prospects, you will definitely see a lot of improvement in growing your business. Timing is everything, right? I think this is just a very short training, a few slides, but this right here is one of the two most important. There's several concepts here, but this is one of the two that's most important. Timing is everything. The 24-hour rule, right? Always follow up within 24 hours. And why do we do this? Because everything is still fresh in their mind, right? So for example, you just did a Zoom presentation. So within 24 hours of that, you have to follow up. Hey, just first of all, I really want to thank you for attending. What part of that presentation intrigued you the most? You have to like really um, get in there within 24 hours while everything is still fresh in their mind. You send a brief thank you. So this is just a basic example. So, hi, it was a pleasure meeting you. I really enjoyed learning about your work, or let's stay in touch. And you can modify it in several different ways. Thank you for being at the event. Thank you for attending the Zoom. But we can actually personalize this even further. Okay. And you'll see that in the next slide. The longer you wait, the colder the connection becomes. And that is very true. If you wait a few days or even a week before you follow up, your chances of getting that person to really to really get interested, to really look in more detail at what we have to offer, is drastically reduced. Okay. Everyone's busy. People, life happens, people get busy and all that. So again, the longer you wait, your chances, are get lower and lower to get that person interested. So personalization is key. So yes, there's a generic message. It was great meeting you, but you can make it more effective when you personalize it. Now, everyone here has already heard of form, right? FORM. When we ask about their background and trying to get to know them, right? We ask about their family. We ask about their family. We ask about their occupation. We ask about their what recreational activities they do and what motivates them, right? So, using form, we kind of have a general idea of what their background is, what drives them, what's important to them, right? What their family structure is. So, when you have this information, when you send them messages, it always helps to personalize the message. Mention specific details from your conversation. Oh, you mentioned that you are really looking for something that will allow you to spend more time with your family, right? Because, with two growing kids, two young kids in school and all that, they definitely need you more at home so you can, properly guide them. Things like that, right? Offer something relevant to their needs or interests, right? Oh, you mentioned you love traveling. Well, you know what? Guess what? I love traveling too. So, and then you can kind of segue this into, what we have to offer, because as you know, through international, we offer, incentive trips every year. So that's something that would really attract their attention, right? So here's again an example. I remember you mentioned a challenge with, a specific time. Here's an article that might help. So again, I think I mentioned this in my previous training as well. Even if, they are not what I would call a viable, what do you call that? Prospect, meaning, they're really showing no interest, or basically they really said, you know what, this is not really the right time for me or whatever. And that's okay, because we know that it's not for everyone, right? But just because they said no right now doesn't mean they're going to say no later on. So, still provide a benefit to them. So you mentioned you were struggling with this, let's say a certain condition. You might want to look up these articles, or you might want to, check out this video or whatever. That might help. Things like that. So offer them something else that, based on what you know of them, based on what you find out about their background, offer them, some kind of benefit, apart from what we have to offer in three, if it comes to that. Now, here's the second most important part that I mentioned. So the first one, right, earlier was the timing, right? You have to follow up within 24 hours. The second one is consistency. Okay. Create a follow-up system. I have to admit, I'm actually very bad at this, and you would think, as a very supposedly very organized retired military officer, I should be really good at, about this. But I have to be honest, I have to create a better follow-up system myself. So use a simple spreadsheet to track contacts, notes, reminders. Some of the folks here that I know are just, wizards when it comes to like spreadsheets and all that. Oh, I'm sure George is very, very good with that because he's so good with numbers. But create whatever system works for you that will remind you or allow you to track your contacts. Like, okay, followed up on this day. Oh, this person has two kids, has or has two jobs or whatever, where you can kind of have a snapshot of each prospect and set yourself reminders. Follow up, in 2 weeks. Follow up in 1 week, after you've already spoken with them, right? Schedule regular check-ins, whether it's monthly or quarterly, to keep the relationship warm. So if they don't happen to be that one person that just jumps in at the opportunity, right? Or, because we do have those, obviously, we love them. Like I'm in, where do I sign up? There are those that you kind of have to work on little by little, right? I have several in my team that it took me anywhere from 6 months to a year before they actually signed up, right? The first time they were, it's not the right time for me, Nilbert, or not really what I'm looking for. That's fine, right? So I kept them in the back burner, but I kind of, I still have their name on my list, and I periodically check in with them. Hey, how's it going? Or when their birthday comes up, I greet them, hey, happy birthday, and all that. And then it kind of strikes up a conversation again. So what have you been up to? How's things going? And this is the second part right here, congratulating them on milestones or achievements, whether it's in LinkedIn, Facebook, or whatever, if you're connected with them on social media. So, and then, use that opportunity to possibly, offer them the the chance to look at the presentation or look at the business again. I've been able to do that when last time I greeted someone happy birthday and I said, hey, how's it going? He said, well, yeah, things have been, so. I said, oh, what's wrong? And then I kind of find out that you guys been struggling a little bit or whatever. I said, well, I mean, if you're still open to looking at other opportunities, there's still, I'm still here. I can definitely get with you on a Zoom and show you, what I'm doing because it's been really good for me so far. Things like that. Okay. Practice the 3-point follow-up. Okay. You thank them, right? You add value. So, you connect, right? You thank them for their time. You thank them for taking a look at this opportunity. Number two, you add value. You offer something that will, benefit whatever, some part of their life, some part of what they're looking for. Remember, it's, if you approach it as instead of what can I get out of this to what I can do for them, it's so easy to figure out like what you can offer to add value to their life, to their time, to their goals. Okay. And then suggest the next step, meeting or collaboration, right? So, you know what, after you thank them and you kind of added value, like, this will really be good for you. And then you kind of get them to agree or to kind of like, yeah, I think you're right, whatever. then follow, kind of, I wouldn't say it's a closing, but close it up to get them to the presentation. Well, you know what? We actually have a global webinar that's on tonight or tomorrow, depending on what day of the week it is. And if, I'd love to invite you, and can I reserve a spot for you? Right? If that doesn't work for them, well, you know what time frame works for you? Because I may be able to get a private Zoom set up for you. I can even get one of my business partners to join me, things like that. So suggest the next step. Be in control of that. Don't rely on them to, like, oh, cool, so when you have time, just reach out to me and let me know when you want to get together. The chances are lower that you're going to be able to get them to watch a presentation or attend an event. So you have to be the one to drive that. Okay. So, in conclusion, right? So key points here, you have to follow up quickly. Again, within 24 hours. This thing is a must. I can't stress enough how important that is, right? Actually, what I tell my team is that, and I learned this from Christine as well, after a presentation, you follow up right there and then. Within the next 30 minutes, you follow up. Like, we do a business launch for someone. We definitely, hey, that the person whose launch it was, they have to follow up right away. Okay. Personalize your outreach. Again, when you just say a generic thank you, it's good, it works. But when you actually personalize it, hey, thank you so much for spending. I know you're busy with your two kids and all that. So really, I really thank you for giving me about 30 minutes of this and all that. Personalize it. Make it so that they, oh wow, this person's really listened to my story, or remembered that, what, details about what I told them. So it'll impress them. Stay consistent, okay? Stay consistent and keep doing this as a system. Repetitive. Every time you have a prospect, you do exactly the same type of follow-up routine, right? Create a system for you to remind you of when to follow up with these people. One of my superstars here, Lovey, she showed me before, she had a spreadsheet that like when she made first contact, so again, she's definitely way more organized than I am. So call to action for everyone, okay? Before the week ends, follow up with at least 3 people you've recently connected with, okay? Remember, success in networking comes not from who you know, but really from who remembers you, right? Makes sense, right? Doesn't matter, like, so many if they don't remember you, right? So it's really dependent on who remembers you. And then in case, you need this reminder today, because I know I do, I kind of remind myself this every day. Your entire life can really change in less than a year. Put the work in, stay consistent, and take things one day at a time. We just the world just celebrated the Chinese Lunar Year. It's the year of the snake. So we've already had, well, a regular New Year, January 1st. We have the Chinese. So it's really 2025, the start of 2025. I have such an awesome feeling about 2025. I think a lot of us here are definitely going to break out and achieve so much success this year. So really excited. So that, folks, is pretty much just kind of like a quick, short training on the art of the follow-up. Hopefully, you're able to pick up some nuggets there, or some refreshers for those who are already doing the follow-ups. So let's open up the floor for comments,